Hi viewers, it's a short video on drugs used in CPR and emergencies. It comes under miscellaneous unit in pharmacology as well as in third year medical surgical advanced. So what is CPR? Cardiopulmonary resuscitation. It's a technique of basic life support for oxygenating the brain and heart until a medical treatment arrives. So I have given a video on CPR and BLS techniques. I will provide the link in my description box. So what are the steps in CPR? The steps recently revised is CAB, that is C for chest compressions, A for airway and B for breathing. What are the drugs used in CPR or in case of emergency? There are plenty of drugs, but I have given something which are very important here. Adrenaline, atropine, adenosine, amiodarone, calcium chloride, calcium gluconate, dobutamine, dopamine, glucose, lidocaine, magnesium sulfate, naloxone, norepi, phenylephrine, procainamide and sodium bicarbonate. Some of the important drugs we will see a little bit in detail. So adrenaline or epinephrine is a life-saving hormone in lot of areas, especially in allergic reaction when the patient goes into severe bradycardia. So to push up our energy, to increase our heartbeat, we usually give adrenaline or epinephrine. So you all know that adrenaline is a fight or flight hormone. When you want to fight, we need lot of energy. When you want to flight or run, also we need lot of energy. From this picture, you will come to know that somebody, if you want a push, of course, we need adrenaline. So it is usually available in 0.1 milligram per ml and it's sympathomimetic pharmacologically, and the uses are in various areas, especially in case of resuscitation, when you want to bring the heart rate back, severe bradycardia, short-term systemic hypotension and anaphylactic shock. So if you want to pick up the blood pressure or the heart rate, and if you want to bring them back from a severe anaphylactic shock, we need adrenaline as an emergency drug. The dose is 0.1 to 0.3 ml per kg and the route is mostly intravenous and sometimes we give intracardiac as well. The next is atropine. Of course, everybody knows about adrenaline and atropine. This is also an indication where the bradycardia is there. 0.4 milligram per ml it is available in 1 ampule. And the indication is bradycardia. When a patient is symptomatic bradycardia, if the patient is asymptomatic bradycardia, some of the athletes may have bradycardia without any symptoms. So for those cases, we never inject atropine, whereas symptomatic bradycardia where the patient collapse, of course we need atropine. Dose is 0.2 milligram per kg and the route is IV. Can be repeated in 3 minutes again. Next one is adenosine. Adenosine is a cardiac antiarrhythmic drug where if the patient is coming with a severe arrhythmias like atrial fibrillation and severe supraventricular tachycardia, all those cases we give adenosine to revert them to a normal rhythm. 3 milligram per ml indication is cardiac arrhythmias, especially case of SVT and atrial fibrillation. Also we give adenosine. The dose is bolus 3 milligram followed by 6 milligram. So we can give it like 3 milligram, 6 milligram and then 12 milligram and 3 times with 3 minutes interval to bring back the cardiac normal rhythm. The next is calcium gluconate. Even though it is just a supplementary for the calcium deficiency, but there are other lot of interesting uses in as a drug, as an emergency drug. 100 milligram per ml it is available in vial and it is used in cardiac arrest. It's a very important drug where we administer during the cardiac arrest and patient with hypocalcemia, as well as in case of snake bite as a muscle relaxant we give calcium gluconate. So calcium gluconate not only in hypocalcemia, it is used as in cardiac arrest as well as snake bite. The dose is 500 milligram to 2 grams, 5 to 20 ml dilution is needed and IV infusion. It is given as infusion. The next is dextrose 10%. It looks very simple. We all know that what is dextrose is. But it is not only used in hypoglycemia. The 10% dextrose is a stronger one where we give it during the patient goes in hypoglycemia, and also used as an antidote for acute alcohol intoxication. If patient comes with acute alcohol intoxication, collapsed, so during that time it's the best antidote for the patient on intoxication. So dextrose 10% infusion can be given as an antidote for acute alcohol intoxication, as well as along with insulin. Dextrose 10% with insulin, it is given in case of hypokalemia. Patient goes on hypokalemia, a combination with insulin and 10% dextrose helps to bring back the potassium level. The dose is 25 to 50 gram and the route is IV infusion. The next is dopamine. Dobutamine comes under sympathomimetic, especially they are the best inotropes where to increase the cardiac pumping. So dobutamine, in that dopamine is a very important emergency drug. So it comes under inotropes and sympathomimetic drugs. It is used in hypotension, patient with myocardial infarction, shock, septicemia, trauma. So all these areas, what happens in myocardial infarction, shock, septicemia and trauma, what happens is the patient's blood pressure drops and the patient cardiac pumping decreases. So in that cases, dopamine helps as a inotrope. It's the best inotropic drug where it increases the cardiac cardiac output. So what is the dose here? 5 microgram per kg per minute. Of course, we need to calculate the dose as per the weight of the patient and dilute it in 50 ml dextrose water or normal saline and to be given as an infusion. The next is fentanyl. Fentanyl is an opioid drug which is a synthetic opioid. We can say it like a twin brother of morphine. 50 microgram per ml is the dose combination in a vial. Opioid agonist, as I said, it's an opioid drug used as analgesia. It is used in analgesics as well as anesthetics and sedation. So the available forms are like IM, IV, oral, sublingual and transdermal patch, but we need prescription and it is strictly narcotic. The next is morphine, natural opioid agonist, 5 mg per ml. It is used in pain and sedation. But what is the disadvantage of morphine over fentanyl? It's a respiratory depressant. So you need to keep an antidote which is called naloxone side by side when you use a morphine, because the patient may go into respiratory depression. So you have to be careful when administering morphine. So the fentanyl has advantage of less respiratory depression and side effects comparing to morphine. The route is slow IV push, IM or sub-Q. Dose is 1 to 4 milligram IV over 5 minutes. The next is naloxone. So the best drug to end the overdose of morphine or any narcotics. So it's a narcotic antagonist. Any narcotic drug which is misused or patient administered a strong narcotic drug and they cannot wake up. So during that time, naloxone acts like an antidote. It's an antidote for morphine as well, antagonist for other opioid drugs as well. So any opioid poison or opioid misuse where the patient comes with overdose of opioids, naloxone is given as an antidote. So neonatal asphyxia due to opioid in labor, because when mother undergo a labor and we are giving opioid like morphine or fentanyl, some painkillers, and the baby will receive some amount of that, and baby during birth it will go to asphyxia. So to revert that also naloxone is given. The route is oral and IV. The dose is 0.4 milligram IV. The next is sodium bicarbonate. Even though it is lost, it is a very important drug which is to be kept in the crash cart. Metabolic acidosis and respiratory acidosis. It's a correction given during the patient goes on respiratory or metabolic acidosis. 1 milliequivalent per kg IV infusion to be calculated and given. So all these drugs has to be kept in the crash trolley So we can say that these are all the drugs which has to be kept in the crash trolley or crash cart drugs. So thanks for watching the video. See you in next video.